I love that. I loved working with the older adults. That was incredible because it just kind of it really reshaped so many of my impressions of life to to build things. And by that I mean like physical spaces and just communities of interest, like to build something from the ground up, whether it was like a swim club or a bicycle club or a physical center for people, for old adults to go to do that with people who were in their 70s and 80s. That just blew my mind because there wasn't anything that you couldn't do because there was that incredible wealth of experience that individual older adults have, and when you put them together as a group, like you could fill a room with people who knew how to do everything that was necessary to make something happen, and make it happen on a consistent basis, make it thrive and make it grow. So that was pretty impressive to me. When my children, well, one was gone and the other was still at home, and I married eventually after like a few years of kind of courtship, I guess you'd say. I married the second love of my life. So fortunate to have two. And his name is Bob, and he's just an amazing person, as many people would attest to. Yeah, he's much loved, and for good reason. And so as much as we could, we blended our two families, but they were mostly grown, so it was more like a blending of grandchildren. And they are incredible. I really can't say enough about how much energy they bring to your life. They take a lot away too, but they pay it back in spades just because they're so much fun to be with. Yeah. And, so they range in age from 2 to 20. So, and we've had fun with all of them. We still do, yeah. Only now our oldest, Malachi, he comes over to watch hockey and have meals, and it's very different, but in one way. Yeah. And we changed our living situation, some part of it by choice and some just by circumstances. We had to sell our house, and which was a great disappointment to the kids because it was right on the river, and we really enjoyed a lot of water activities that we have to work a little harder to get to those now. But we still have all our boats, all our kayaks and a canoe, and we get out on the water whenever we can. So that's not lost to us. And we are apartment dwellers, which I never thought we would be. I was sure that we would always have a house, but that didn't work out. We just kind of cried uncle. We were very tired after that year of selling the house and other things that happened, and so we cried uncle and decided we'd take an apartment for a year, and we just actually really love it. The kids aren't, especially the grandkids, they're not, they like the novel things about it, like they like being up high, I guess we're on the 4th floor. And they like the location, but it's like a cage to them, like, 'cause they can't just walk outside, and they can't, yeah, their access, involves security, and the little ones still like the elevators, so that's good. But they need so much room, and if you bring them all together, oh, it's like a bomb that's just about to go off. They're just these little balls of energy. And they can only bounce around so much in an apartment. So those family dinners have become very sort of chaotic, and but it is what it is.
Right.
If your health situation changes, for whatever reason, if you're in an apartment, it is so much easier to do the essential things of living, and to not have to do the snow shoveling and yard maintenance and all of that. I mean, I miss a yard tremendously. I miss drying my clothes outside, and I miss, yeah, I miss a lot about it, but it doesn't cause me to regret that move to an apartment. It's and we have our own little community there, as do most of the apartment buildings that I've heard about from friends. They have friends in the buildings, and they help each other out, and it takes very little to create community in those kinds of surroundings. Aging in place is something that I think is easier in that kind of, sort of containment. Yeah. Underground parking, everyone should have underground parking in this climate. Like, we went from a driveway where you couldn't see over the banks on either side to just driving into a dry parking spot. There's no comparison. It's great. Yeah, especially if you have Bob had a couple of surgeries when we were in our house, and so I really had to do everything in terms of maintenance. And I was fortunate because we had 2 mild winters. Those 2 winters were great, so I didn't really have to shovel snow. And it was weird because it was like February. Both the surgeries were in the late winter, but the snow had just stopped, so I was smiled upon by someone. Yeah.